and creation. You will see all different kinds of beings that he has drawn, and a lot of them look completely human, just like me and you, just like Caucasians.
Hey, brother Abdul.
Nobody's speaking on those entities.
I have somebody else on the line.
Just speaking on the ones. Okay, let me just finish this. They're just speaking on the ones that don't look human. But when the pale man puts them in his movies and TV and stuff, they don't have a problem with that because they don't see it as real.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Peace and black power. I got my brother Michael Edwards on the line. I'm representing his shirt today, rocking his shirt today. All right. He got some new upgraded tees and t-shirts and sweaters and all that. I'm waiting on mine to come in. Brother Michael Edwards, what's happening, brother? We got Abdul in the building. We got brother Malik on the line as well.
Man, peace and black power, dear brother Sarnetta. Man, I appreciate you so much, man, for wearing that shirt, brother.
Thank you, brother.
And that shirt just really quickly means so much to me because it's about my walk and my relationship with all the brothers that I deal with.
Yes, sir.
And that parable, Matthew 13:30, the parable of the tare and the wheat, it describes how we are to live with each other, not judging each other, but letting the creator of all things do that judging. And so, man, as brothers, man, I'm telling you, I love you, man, with all my heart, man.
Thank you, brother. Love you too, man. You already know.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, and greetings to the brother Malik, and the brother on the phone. I'm
Abdul.
Not sure about the brother's name. Brother Abdul, yes.
Yeah, but okay, my name.
I call you the short one, that's all. I call you the short name. The short version.
You ain't too much taller than me anyway. We won't go there.
Yeah, and I've heard of the brother. Several times, and just giving greetings to the brother. And I wanted to ask a question as relates to the thing that y'all talking about right now. All right. So I'm going to bring the question from the premise that I teach, which is rooted in Exodus, book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 4. The commandment from the Most High that tells us not to.
Say that again, because you're coming in a little bit unclear.
Okay, let me make sure.
Can you hear me clearly? No, that's my phone. Yeah, I can hear you clearly now. I had to move around a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, from the particular paradigm and thought school that I come from, and I'm pretty sure that it is in some way fundamental to what Dr. York taught and what he taught. Exodus chapter 20, verse 4. It says specifically, "You shall not make for yourself any idol or graven image in the heavens above or the earth beneath or the waters below." And the point that it's making here is the error when we get into making all of these images and ideas and depictions that come from a man's perception. All of these things are open doors for negligent behavior, for behavior that is subpar as relates to leadership, and for the minds of the young people that are being brought into these thought schools. This pickle man character or entity, I want to say, brother, in my opinion, it's shameful that that's being brought out now, that's being talked about and it's being recognized as an actual entity being taught by that man. My question to you is, when we look at how Dr. York taught from the standpoint of Eastern philosophy or even that understanding, founded, rooted in Quranic texts, in the Torah, and in the Bible, how now do you validate Pickle Man being somebody that you even understand or identify with, instead of saying that is a breach of this particular commandment, which is a fundamental commandment in the ideology that Dr. York taught? How do you reconcile that?
Because our ancient ancestors, let's say like the ancient Egyptians, the Sumerians, which was way before Islam. Islam is like the last thing on the line as far as religion and stuff go. They drew images of our ancestors on the walls the same way today you would take a picture with your cell phone, not to worship it, but as a record of who you are, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your children. I'm sure everyone has pictures of their family, of their friends, especially with cell phones nowadays, with everyone walking around with a camera. When I was younger, you had to actually buy a camera. Now they come with your phone. So you got it whether you wanted it or not. So everyone has pictures. The object is the pictures were not made for you to worship. That image, it was made so that you'd have the image in your mind so that you know what you're looking at when you see it. You see what I'm saying? Not for you to worship.
I understand what you're saying, but absolutely the reason that I'm bringing the question is because I'm seeing the deficit in the way that you're seeing it and even explaining the answer. The reason for that commandment, brother, is that we don't defile what is holy or what is spirit. Right? When I look at, and you mentioned it, some of the ancient cultures like the Egyptians, when we look at some of the defiling depictions, brother, we know that those things were used as teaching tools on many different levels and for many different reasons. But when I look at a papyrus, like, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but it is what it is. It's on the papyrus. When we look at papyruses that depict autofellatio, and me and Brother Sarnetta and all of us have talked about this for years. These are the important reasons why we don't do that to those things that are called spiritual beings or messengers or angels of whatever sort or tier. Because our minds, maybe we don't see it as autofellatio in the ancient culture. But today, if I was to look at a depiction of Geb on his back with his penis to his mouth, we can't use that to teach children. Neither can we use Pickle Man or any graven image or depiction of a deity. The Bible says that the great God has never been seen, not by you or me or Dr. York or Malik or Sarnetta. But these things, hold on one second. The great God is only seen in this dimension through its creation, which is us. We are the only image and graven image and creations walking and statues and those types of beings that should be depicted as the image of God, being male and female. Not that we are guessing or going into some spiritual delusion, drawing and depicting what is unseen. The God that created us has an image and a likeness, but the Bible says, and the Torah says, and the Quran alludes that the great God is a spirit. And they that worship that spirit must worship it, and I'm going to wind it up, must worship it in spirit and in truth. In truth, we cannot say that the great God looks like Pickle Man. We cannot say in truth and honesty that the great God does autofellatio and looks like Geb. When we do these things, in our mind as teachers and philosophers, we understand the projection. But from the majority of the world, it's really, as the Most High says, that we ought not do those things because they come off way back. We're living 2,000 years removed from Geb.
All right, Brother Mike.
Okay, I'm going to wind it up. And I know the brother understands. But we're living 2,000 years removed from what Geb was depicted as. And today,
hold on, Abdul.
We can't use that. We can't use that depiction anywhere in our society to depict anything but ancient culture and what it was in its prime inception.
All right, hold on, Brother Abdul. I'm going to let you go on. Hold on, Mike. You long-winded too, man. You brother long-winded too.
I know. You know.
All right, so let me just say this before Abdul come back on real quick. Mike, you already know me and you brothers, and we disagree all the time, but that's what brothers do, right? So I strongly, respectfully disagree with you when you say that you cannot teach the story of Geb because you see his penis pointing directly towards the mouth. See, I disagree with you because if you teach it right and proper and let the people know what that symbol means and represent and the fertility and being born again, then yes, you can teach it. You see what I'm saying?
And that's a beautiful
so,
statement.
Yeah, you can teach that, brother.
And that's
but no, let me bring back on Brother Abdul, because I want to
let the closing statement and let Brother Abdul take it. Can I give the closing statement on my?
Go ahead, brother.
And
close it out.
Beautiful statement. That's a beautiful statement what you made, and that's absolutely true. But in the context of what we know as moral and righteous, we had the conversation with Shaka Amos. Nowhere in Western society or even Eastern academics can that autofellatio be taught as science to our children. It's illegal to do that. And it can be taught in another way, with numbers, with mathematics and philosophy and liturgy. We don't need those things. That's the point that the Most High was telling humanity. Don't do that because it's disrespectful. It brings God down to our perception. But our perception is deeper than a picture. Our perception is mathematics and science and study. You see, so that's the point I'm making.
I got you,
and
brother.
That's just the danger of it. But I respect that, brother. And I love you, man. Thank you, Sarnetta.
Thank you, Brother Mike. Brother, no, hold on, don't go nowhere. Abdul want to address what you were saying. Go ahead, Brother Abdul.
Okay, if you have a Bible, go to the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 4.
And
chapter 6, verse 6.
Told you, I don't know who y'all dealing with, man. This brother is well versed with Quran, Bible, Hebrew. I mean, let's go. Talk to him.
Okay, let me grab it right now. Genesis, which chapter, brother?
Chapter 6, verse 4.
Verse 4.
Tell me what
would you like me to? Would you like it in Hebrew? Would you like me to read it in Hebrew or just the English?
Not just the English, because most of the people here, unless you translate it word for word, ain't gonna understand the Hebrew anyway.
Yeah, I'll give it to you word for word, because that's what I do.
Nah, that'll take too long, brother. Just do the English, brother.
just read it in English.
Okay,
do the English, man.
Okay. The Nephilim were in the earth in those days.
So what Bible are you reading from? A King James version?
I'm reading from a Hebrew interlinear Tanakh. You want me to read the King James?
No, read the King James version, please.
Okay. And it's Genesis 6:4 or 16, you said?
No, Genesis chapter 6, verse 4.
6 verse 4. Okay. Let me grab it here in the book. And this is the King James I got here, just sitting here. Okay. And is there any reason why you don't want it out of the Hebrew?
No, because like Sarnetta
said, even the interlinear. Well, I was just reading the English. It just gives you a more, direct translation, one-to-one.
But the reason I specifically asked about the 1611 King James version is because most people here in America, that's the version they use that are Christians and read the Bible. That is the main one they use. So when you use the Greek Hebrew study Bible and stuff, most people don't read all of that.
Yeah, but that's what we try to teach. I understand what you. And I'm gonna get to what you want. Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
What's for
I'm gonna read it.
More people.
All right, go ahead. Get the reading, brother.
There's a discrepancy before we read this. But if there's a discrepancy, brother, that we have to talk about.
Just read it.
Okay.
Just read it.
All right.
Please.
Just chapter 6, verse 4.
Yes.
All right. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they were born children to them. Those were the... And I just taught on this, brother, and I'm teaching on it currently, right now, like literally.
Okay,
on my channel.
Now, it literally said that these sons of God, the Bain Elohim, came in unto the daughters of men. When they say came, they meant come, because obviously they had children. So obviously they had sexual intercourse, which means that these beings who came down from another star system or planet or heaven were in a human physical form, and they had sexual intercourse with human physical women and had children. And of course, those women were Nubian or black, so they engaged in sexual intercourse. The same way that, so that means that these beings could take on a physical human form, even though they didn't come from the planet Earth. But they took on a physical human form, right?
Even with genetics, even with their sexuality. Yes, sir. No disagreement.
Yes. And notice they gave birth to special kind of children. Now go to Genesis 6:6 in the same, read what that says.
Okay, but when we finish the actual verse talks about these men, even talking about them being men of old and men of renown.
No, please read the whole verse.
1 second. Would you like me to read the whole verse here, or you want me to skip over to another verse?
No. Genesis chapter 6, verse 6.
All right. Verse 6. Why are you skipping the end of the verse, brother?
No, please, just go to Genesis chapter 6.
See, this is what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying. I want you to let me read the whole verse. If you want me to read it, brother, you can't do that. This is the Bible.
Listen, the verse is Genesis chapter 6, verse 6.
Brother, for these people to have an understanding, you don't read them an incomplete statement and then jump and move.
Exactly.
Okay.
What I'm showing you is how each one of them says how different beings came down, had sexual intercourse with women. And notice it says came down, Nephilim. They fell down and came down. They were Anakim. They were giants in the earth in those days. And when they say giant, they did mean physical giants like Goliath, son of Goliath.
Yeah, they're talking about real people, brother. We understand it. And I agree with you. But I want to also show you another in this verse, brother. 1 second. Let's just slow it. In this verse, it talks about men of old and men of renown.
Men of renown. That was men of the shams.
1 second. 1 second.
Or the shams or the rocket ships.
1 second, brother. In the Hebrew, when I read that, it doesn't say anything about rocket ships. It's talking about
the word shams.
1 second, brother. 1 second, brother. It says it's talking about cultural identification with these men of renown.
No, that's not what it says.
The words Meloam, Anasi, Hasim deals with ancient cultures directly propagating these things, like the Greek culture.
Translate the word for word.
1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Me olam were of old, and see men in this particular utterance. Okay, Hasim of renown. Renown meaning that these characters were known worldwide. And I'm saying to you, I want to brother, hold on for 1 second, please. I'm saying that these men of renown were talking about other ancient depictions of gods, just like the Greek cultures, just like the Roman cultures, just like the Egyptian cultures, just like the pickle man. I'm saying to you that we understand that this was a great metaphysical action, that beings from the heavens came down and cohabitated with women, creating a race of giantism and even Nephilim type beings. But one said to us at any point in this that it's okay for us to guess what they were. When we have liturgy, when we have science, when we have mathematics, we don't have to guess. We can write, but these were men. 1 second, and I'm gonna wind it up because the words I get long-winded. But you were guessing because you started talking about rocket ships, and I'm telling you, I'm a Hebrew scholar of over 12 years.
All right. Hold on, Mike. I forgot to let y'all know that Michael Edwards is also a bad brother too when it comes to this science. So, Mike, we're gonna let my guest get back on the show because I don't want nobody to take over his show. Right.
Yeah, and I don't want it to seem like I'm arguing with the brother. Right. You're right. But I want to make it important that we don't do that with the Bible. That's where we make mistakes at, exegeting and eisegeting the text. But this is a cultural document that must be understood in its completion. We don't add.
Now.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
I'm going to speak because I barely said anything.
All right. Go ahead, brother. Mike, I'm gonna talk to you later, brother, because I got to get more callers.
Okay,
brother Malik. I'm gonna have to talk to you later, brother, unless you got another question as well.
No, I just have a statement, and I'm hanging up because I got things I gotta do.
All right. Let brother Abdul go first, and then you can make your statement.
Say what you want to say, and then run off. And don't even listen to what I have to say because you have things that you got to do. No,
Abdul, you're gonna go, Abdul, and then Malik will make his statement when you're done. Go ahead, brother Abdul.
Okay, now according to the information, and we're just sharing information,
right?
Because no one's trying to convert no one to anything. I'm not a religious person. I'm making a point. Now, Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. Also, now this is the translation I have. Whether you agree with it or not is not important to me. Let me make that crystal clear. I'm just sharing the information I have on that chapter in that verse. Are we clear? We're just sharing information.
Yes.
That's all. Okay.